Hey, sexy people, it's your girl Eve Queen, your intimacy coach. All right, you guys. So we have made it to romantic intimacy. So if you are listening to this one, this is pretty much one of the last podcasts talking about intimacy. We talked about self intimacy, friendship intimacy, and family intimacy. And now we are talking about romantic intimacy and how to build that. Again, intimacy. Intimacy is what you use to help build meaningful relationships. Take the XXX out of it. Intimacy is, well, XXX is a part of intimacy, but only a part of romantic intimacy. I mean, you could be romantic and have physical sexual intimacy in your friendship, but that's not what we're talking about. That's a different time, a different conversation. And we will get there. We will get there. Baby steps. But anyway, let's get into romantic intimacy and what that is all about. So, intimacy is an essential aspect of any romantic relationship, and it goes beyond physical closeness. Here are some tips to help you build a deeper and more meaningful connection with your partner. Okay, so let's jump right into it. So, communication, excuse me, not just communication, open communication. You should be able to share your thoughts, your feelings, and desires with each other. I always like to tell, whenever I do my toy parties, aka passion parties, and I hear women say, "Oh, I cannot say that to my husband. I can't say that to my mate, or I can't do this." So you can't have an open, honest conversation with the person you're with. You can't share your thoughts, your feelings, and desires without the fear of being judged. That's not good, my friend. That's not good. So having and building a place where you both can communicate openly is very important. Okay. Emotional vulnerability. Be willing to be vulnerable and open with your partner. And it goes both ways. Your partner should also be able to be vulnerable with you. And as women, well, I would say most women, you want your mate to be vulnerable with you and feel that you are their safe space. And I'm pretty sure you also want them to feel as though you can come to them with anything and you are their safe space and vice versa. Okay. Active listening. Are you paying attention to each other? Are you paying attention to each other needs and desires and wants, fantasies, dreams? Are are you are you there with them when it comes to that piece? Are you listening? Are you really, really active listening? And I think sometimes we need to look at the definition of certain things because active listening is listening to understand. You want to listen to understand and listen without judgment. Okay. Spending quality time together. Now, if you're in a relationship, I hope and pray that you all are spending quality time with one another because that just helps with your intimacy and also which will lead to the spice and the sexiness that happens in the bedroom. Okay. Make sure you have regularly scheduled quality time together and doing things you both enjoy. Quality time is unless that's your thing and there are some couples that's their thing. If you're living with one another and you just sit in the house and you just watch TV together, if that's your quality time, that's your quality time. That's no problem. Y'all enjoy that. But make sure both of you really enjoy that. You definitely want to set regularly scheduled time together where you're doing other things besides cooking, cleaning. Now, like I said, again, that's your thing, that's your thing. But you want to do things differently. You don't want to cook, clean, and watch TV every week, every day. If you do, if watching TV or watching a game together is your thing, go in the backyard or set up something in the patio, put up a screen or do something creative outside and watch TV out there. Um, Whether it's holding hands or whatever the case may be, do something different. Don't do the same thing over and over again because it can get boring. But again, you know your mate and your relationship is how you make your relationship. But definitely spending quality time together is important. And when I say quality time, I mean without the kids. Okay. Sometimes we got to get a babysitter. Sometimes we got to let them go to grandmama in them house or whatever the case may be, just for a little bit, even if it's just for 2 hours for you guys to connect. Very, very important. Physical touch. Okay. Show affection through physical touch, likes, like hugs, kissing, cuddles, and everything else in between. You know what I'm saying? You know, we got to keep it PG-13. I ain't trying to get banned, but you definitely want to touch, show affection in and out the bedroom. Intimacy starts outside of the bedroom. Rubbing your man's head, rubbing her head, touching on each other, kissing on each other, holding hands. All of that is physical touch that can get you situated and ready for a nice, intimate relationship, as well as having a great intimacy with one another and keeping it spicy. Number six, we have trust and respect. You definitely want to trust and respect each other. You want to build a foundation of trust, respect, and acceptance. Okay. If you can't trust your person and you can't respect your person, something is wrong. You're either going to sit down and try to fix it or not, because any relationship needs to have trust and respect. You can trust somebody and not respect them, and you can respect somebody and not trust them. To me, both go hand in hand, and you can't have one without the other. Okay. Number seven, be present. Oh my God, this is important, especially to my couples who have been together for so long and they just lose that love that they had for one. They still love each other, but they don't have that lust for each other anymore. And a lot of times it's because you're not present. You're just going through the motions. You got the kids, you got the bills, you got work, you're stressed, you know what I mean? And you're just not present. So that ties back into spending quality time together. And also when you're spending quality time together, you got to be present. You have to be present because sometimes your mind can go somewhere else. You worried about something else, and that's not what spending quality time is about. It's about focusing on the present moment and letting go of distractions. So when you are together, focus on each other. Okay. Number eight, and a major biggie, you want to show appreciation. It is nothing more horrible than being in a relationship and in love with someone, with your life partner or someone you want to be your life partner, and they don't show appreciation, or you don't show appreciation. Showing gratitude and appreciation for each other is something that is needed in a happy, successful relationship. Um, you have to know your person's love language. If you haven't, I think I did a podcast. I'm not sure if I did a podcast on this platform or on another one where I talked about the 5 love languages. You have to know your partner's love language, and you need to know your love language as well, so you know how to properly love on that person. And again, over the years, people love languages can change, right? So depending on your person's love language, is how you would show your appreciation to your partner. A lot of times when we lack what we need, okay, as far as our love language, we will spawn our love language on the other person. My love language may be quality time, but their love language may be gifts. So me, I'm probably, if they're not spending quality time with me, I'm going to be trying to spend quality time with them. If I'm not giving them gifts, they're probably going to be gifting me gifts. You get what I'm saying? So you want to make sure you guys understand each other fully. It's very important. If you really want your relationship to be successful, you kind of got to do some sitting down and chit chatting and talking and saying, "Hey, how can I show you an appreciation?" And a lot of times people been together for so long, so they know what the other person wants, but have you really sat down and say, "Baby, how can I show you more appreciation? What is something you feel I should be doing to make you a little more happier?" Whatever that may be, you're either going to do it or you don't, but at least you had that conversation and you know. So, again, show appreciation, be grateful, and gratitude. Gratitude, gratitude. Number 9, take risk. It's nothing like taking a risk with someone you trust and respect and love. Excuse me, that you love. So take risks. Be willing to take risks and try new things together. You should have your thing. If both of you want to get healthy and lose weight, both of you want to, learn about health, that's something that's a low end risk, but that's taking a risk on, hey, we're going to the gym together. We're going to work out with one another. That's our thing. That's y'all thing. You're taking the risk. You may want to explore something sexually that you guys wanted to explore, and you like, what, we gonna do this, we gonna try it. Whether it's whips, chains, or handcuffs, or bringing someone else in the bedroom, if that's your thing, as long as you communicate and you're willing to both take the risk, go for it. I am all for it. Okay. Number 10, you want to prioritize intimacy. You want to make intimacy a priority in your relationship. If intimacy is not a priority, it's not going to work. What happens when you only lust after someone and you don't have intimacy? You don't have an understanding. You don't have trust. You don't have respect. 9 times out of 10, our sexual experience with our partner is only an hour, maybe not even an hour nowadays, the way y'all be talking nowadays. Sometimes sexual experience may only last 15 to 20 minutes. So what are you going to do with them for the rest of the 23 hours or 22 hours or 23 and a half hours of your life with them? So you have to make sure you build intimacy and build a journey to have a meaningful relationship that is both positive, that is healthy, that is good. Remember, intimacy is a journey and it may take time to develop and it may change over time, but you have to be patient, you have to be kind, you have to be compassionate with each other as you work to build a deeper connection. Intimacy is about building a deeper connection with one another and loving on each other and understanding each other and being vulnerable. So, again, I hope you took notes. I hope you had your pen and paper out or your little notepad on your phone and you wrote down some of the dynamics that I talked about in this section that you can take back to your partner and really sit and say, hey, do you feel we have? Do you feel, first start backwards, start with number 10. Do you feel we prioritize our intimacy? Do we take risks, babe? Do we show each other appreciation? Do I show I appreciate you? Do you think I appreciate you? Am I present? When we hanging out, am I present in the relationship? Or you talk to them, babe, last time we hung out, you wasn't really in the moment. You wasn't really present. And when I set up our dates, I want it to be a time for you to just relax and have fun. I want you to be present in the moment. Um, touch on each other, love on each other, all of that good stuff. Intimacy is super important. And as an intimacy coach, I'm not going to go in too deep in this section because that's what Beyond Sexy Vibes is all about. It's intimacy. It's about being confident. It's about having intimacy in all aspects of your life. It's about your health. It's about being sexually empowered. And in order to have all of those things, you need to have a sense of intimacy in all realms of your life, especially your romantic relationship, because your romantic relationship, 9 times out of 10, is going to be the person that you spend most time with. And the person that you spend most time with, you should like them because there are people in relationship with people that they don't like, that they don't care for, and they're just walking through the motions because they have kids or whatever the case may be. If love is lost, then love is lost. But if you do want to work on creating that intimacy with your partner and prioritizing, big bold letters, prioritizing your intimacy with your partner, then you need to be patient and you need to put in the work, and it has to go both ways. It can never be one sided. It can never, ever be one sided. You know what happens when you get that scale that has the two sides? I can't think of the name of it right now, but if you put something on that one side, it's going to fall and it's not going to balance. There has to be a balance. The scales have to balance in your relationship. So I hope this podcast helps. And now that I have my intimate series all done as well as much as possible anyway, we're going to get into the nitty gritty. So the next couple of podcasts, we're going to talk kink, we're going to talk relationships, we're going to talk poly, we're going to talk everything. We're going to get in deep. So make sure that you follow, subscribe, comment, share, all of that good stuff. I'm also looking for suggestions, things that you would like for me to discuss, things that you would like for me to research. I would definitely do that. So I am looking forward to hearing you guys' feedback. I am always looking for feedback. If you enjoyed this podcast, if it helps you, didn't help you, you ain't care for it, you think it sucked, all of that good stuff, put it in the comments. Please, please, please. And if at any time you need some guidance, you need some help, you need some suggestions, please contact me as your intimacy coach. I take clients all the time. My sessions are not crazy expensive. So just hit me up and we can get you there and work on whether it's your self intimacy, friendship intimacy, family intimacy, or romantic intimacy. I am here for you to help and guide you through. So thank you all so much for listening. Deuces.